has had a long list of overlords, the Chimu people, Paracas, Nazca, Mochi, and of course the famed Incas. Those who live here now still practice many of the cultural traditions of these long-lost peoples. Peru is a tough place to live back all those centuries ago, and it's still a harsh land. The high Andes tower into the death zone. The altitude alone commands hard living. Unknown to most of the world, there are white-tailed deer sharing these remote mountain reaches with these descendants of those empire builders from so long ago. Smaller in body than their North American cousins, these white-tailed deer have also learned to live side by side with another creature, one of the strangest-looking animals on the face of the earth. An animal reputedly introduced to Peru centuries ago by the Spanish conquistadors. That animal is the four-horned sheep. Whenever you come into a country, you've got to have the right documentation, the right licenses and permits. And sometimes you can get those ahead of time, but in this particular case, on this trip, we couldn't. So we have to wait. Today's Sunday. Tomorrow, the ministry opens up, and we can try and get our hunting license and permits tomorrow. It means we have to use a hunting day to stay in the city. That's the bad news. The good news is we get to check out Lima, one of the most interesting cities in South America and in fact the world. Pretty quiet in here today. Lima is a city of 9 million people, and tourism is one of their big industries. So this place would normally be packed if it wasn't a Sunday and a Father's Day. Everything's pretty much shut down. That's kind of cool. These are actually grown in captivity, so it's not, these weren't taken out of the wild. In Peru, there's gigantic farms that actually produce bugs and butterflies, and it's a major industry over here. Hey, what's that?
A piranha. Touch.
Oh yeah, that's the, ow!
Allá ves. Las isulas.
Yeah.
Esas se comen. No lima,
Comida. Yeah.
No, me no.
Yeah, you.
No.
No?
No.
Other people, everybody else eats them. These are ants. Apparently they're very tasty. So what I'm thinking about buying is this, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you have to make a good price. The price, no grande, price. Cinco. She said 50% off? Yeah, she understands enough. When you're buying these things in countries too, you have to be careful because not everything is exportable, number one, or importable. And you don't want to support the killing of animals that are killed just for a tourism market.
$3.25.
That's a good price. Thank you so much. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. We got him. headed for the mountains, the Sierras, to look for the Venado Cola Blanca. Finally arrived at the ranch house. It's been a 12-hour day, not too bad, but everyone's a little tired. Apparently, we have to cross some kind of a hanging bridge to get to the ranch house. This bridge is a little bit disconcerting. They won't let me carry anything across on this first trip. They say until I get a feel for the bridge. Wow, that is one wobbly, wobbly bridge. Holy smoke. How old is it?
My dad owned it for it's 25 years, and then the lady that we bought it from was born here. She was 80 when she died. Her family, her parents, they grew up here. We are estimating over 180 for
Over
sure.
180 years old.
Yeah. Just say 200 makes it sound cool.
This is it, the high Andes white-tailed deer, the Venado Cola Blanca. That's what we're hunting. That's a big old one, actually. The deer won't weigh more than 100 pounds if we can find one. I think we're in for a very, very interesting hunt, just based on location and accommodations. Oh man, that's too close. This is day one, and I think we slept for about 4 hours last night. But the very little sleep is the bad news. The good news is we're going to head into the mountains here pretty quick and look for Venado Cola Blanca, the high Andes subspecies of the white-tailed deer. I don't know what's worse, crossing that bridge in the night when you can't see, or coming across in daylight and knowing if you trip, you're gonna smash on the rocks down below. Boy, in daylight, this is a lot rougher country than it looks at night. Another thing you don't realize is the elevation. Right now I can feel my breathing is deeper, and there's no satisfaction from taking a deep breath. Looks like we're climbing. That's Biscacha. It's a type of a rabbit.
It's like a rabbit with a long tail. They only live up here. There's some areas a little further south,
Yep.
Lower elevation. They have them, but not that many. It's very rare to see them.
Really cool. Biscacha. They've either got to come off just behind this face, right, and on this side of the rocks, or they've come out of this face in front of us here. That's the only two choices, because further down they're not coming out of there because it's all rocks. What do you think? I didn't see any scat or tracks, but maybe they're not up this high on the sides.
From where we were at right now, we could have seen movement over there.
Yeah, if they're on that face, for sure.
Do you
Maybe,
think it has anything to do with the moon?
maybe. Then they could feed at night. They could drink at night because there's lots of light. They don't need to come down. But if it is the moon, then we have to be here a lot earlier to catch them earlier. I think we can safely say there's no deer here. You would see them if they're here.
We should head out.
Let's go. Can you imagine every day of your life, this is a normal walk? I mean, to do anything, you've got to go up and down a hill. That toughens you up.
Tía, te presento unos amigos. Son de Canadá, son.
How are you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
¿Cómo estás?
Is this leche?
Es la leche de vaca.
Ah, it's warm. It's
Sí.
caliente. Is it
Caliente.
good you drink like this?
Ajá.
Yeah. That's okay. So this is his businesses. And these are his milk cows. Hey, this is the milk shed. So he just poured all the milk into the sieve.
I don't know what this is called in English, but this is basically
Fermenting.
fermented, yes.
Yeah, it's fermenting there. So now he's taken the fermenting milk and he's used the sieve to leave the juice into the milk. It's such a beautiful thing. It's just like timeless. Like, he does this every day.
He actually cooked some potatoes for us. He's gonna offer us some potatoes.
Oh, wow. It's incredible. That's a potato. Very good.
Con su queso.
Bueno, you put queso on it? It's as organic as you get. Homemade queso fresco. Fresh cheese. No preservative, nothing. No pasteurized. And a potato grown in the garden just boiled. There you go. No nothing. Very good. Really good.
Muy rico, dice.
Sí.
Oh. So we've done a couple of things here from our side. We've had an incredible meal, and we've also learned about the white-tailed deer. This gentleman says they come down over here. He saw 10 of them 20 days ago, and he says he's got a trail that goes up behind this mountain. And if he wasn't so busy, he'd take us up there. And I'm kind of glad he won't be doing that because I won't be able to keep up with him. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Getting higher and higher into the Andes. The scenery is changing. More green and flatter areas. This is where I'm hoping to find the Indian goose. I'm going to try for one with a bow and arrow if possible. So that looks like alpacas. Those are alpacas. Oh, is that ever cute? Alpacas. They just stopped in there. They're right here. That's really cool. They use the alpacas for the hair only.
Wool.
Wool, strictly for wool, not for food, not
For meat, yeah. Alpaca
too.
meat is really good.
awesome. Just different creatures here. This cross sits on the height of land, 15,600 plus feet. You can breathe in. There's a fraction of the oxygen that we have at sea level. It's so serene and beautiful with all of this around. Andean geese. Indian geese are only found here, and this is where you can hunt them, is up high like this. So we spotted a flock of them down below, over the edge here, so we're gonna sneak up and see if we can get deer. Range behind them. Yards. Hit him, touch low, but we'll get him. Yeah, he's down. He's gonna go down. Holy, he's huge. We got him, Angelo.
Yeah.
40.
That was a really good shot.
46 yards.
How far was it?
46 yards.
Let me be the first to congratulate you. And that's a nice big
It's a
specimen.
big male, eh?
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah,
his,
you can tell that's a male. It's
the
huge.
hook on his bill.
Yeah.
Oh, he's huge, eh?
Yeah. Real nice. Did a spur on his wing.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's real neat. They use the spurs to climb out. Like if you could see the angle here, it's real steep, so they kind of help themselves pull their bodies out of the little lakes and ponds down there.
The iridescence is amazing. It's like a purple and then green. This is actually not black, it's green. So we have dinner. That'll be good for us to eat. We're going to be eating like kings tonight. We're cooking up the Indian goose. I'm really excited about dinner tonight. We're gonna try a piece of breast right off the bat. It's perfectly done. Holy smokes. Angel, that is so good.
I'm glad you liked it.
We may not have the animal we came for yet, but that is so tasty. That's better than any goose I've ever had.
Let me get a piece of that.
Day 2, 5 a.m. We're almost up at the hunting area. Much earlier start today, which hopefully will make the difference on us. The locals definitely are seeing them or have seen them in the past, so we're in the right area. It's just a matter of if the timing's right. Maybe the full moon's affecting their behavior. Maybe they're only moving in the middle of the night. There's no way to know until we put some time in.
What do you think? You want to go this way?
Right now we can't see anything anyway, so
That's true. Do you think we should wait here for a little bit then?
possible, yeah. Probably better, because otherwise we'll walk right into them. They'll see us. It's almost 11 o'clock in the morning. More than likely all the deer, if they're here, will be bedded now and impossible to see. We have to wait till they stand up. They will occasionally stand up and change positions, but nothing we can do now. Just put in time, wait, and hope. 3 today, so we'll try again this morning. We just have to keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. I have no idea.
Nothing. Pretty much the same as every other day. We'll still keep going though. There's less wind today. Maybe that'll make a difference.
So this natural draw right through here, this face would be perfect if they're here.
There's a taruka. Oh, smokes. We just saw a taruka. That's like a white-tailed deer, but it lives in higher elevation. We're probably above the whitetails right now. It's a male, too. Really beautiful deer. You can see the spikes with the front brows. Really an unusual animal to see. They don't have a hunting season for them. They would open it up if somebody would do a study and do a census to find out how many, so they have a better idea how many. They know there's a lot. They're erring on the side of caution down here in Peru, so they don't open up a season for them. But just to see one is incredible.
Deer. We've looked long enough, early enough, and stayed late enough that if there was any number of white-tailed deer in here, we would have seen them. We saw foxes, we saw taruka. It's not like we're not spotting what's here. So we'll work our way down and maybe we'll see something on the way out, but it's just a tough hunt. It's a very difficult hunt. We're struggling. Primary objective, the Banana Cola Blanca. We haven't seen a single white-tailed deer the entire time. It's not the end of the world, but it's pretty disheartening when we wait all day long, dawn till dark, and don't see a single hair of a white-tailed deer the entire time. It's tough. It's tough, but we still have time. We still have time. There's still hope. It's kind of a quiet camp. We just haven't found the whitetail yet. We'll try this morning. And if we don't see any deer, then we can come back out to the truck, go higher up to 16,000, where there's an animal called a four-horned sheep. And these sheep are feral, no high fences, just running free. We're hoping for the deer. Try it one more time. And if it doesn't work this morning, then we're done. We'll be coming back.
about today. And it's about the same feeling I've had every day here. You start out with the hope, but there just is there's nothing there. There's no give back to shore up that hope. Not one deer sighting the entire time. One taruka, we're not hunting those. It's just a very difficult animal to hunt. Very difficult. There's no point in staying back in the canyon looking for the Venado Cola Blanca. I just don't think they're there. Darn it. To the top of the mountain where we'll be hunting the four-horned sheep. We just headed to this last village to pick up some supplies, canned goods, rice, dry goods for the villagers at the top of the mountain. It's a goodwill gesture on our part. It's humanitarian. Hunters do it all over the world. It's part of hunting.
So the 24th, they celebrate the Day of the Farmer.
Okay.
And this little community is having a party. It's just about to start. We're going to start off with a parade. All the little kids and the parents. And then after that, they're going to have their prized animals, the llamas, the bulls, that kind of stuff. And then they're going to have a big feast and drinks and all
Feast too.
Yeah.
This is awesome. We had no idea. We were heading to hunt for the four-horned sheep, and we came into this village. I don't even know the name of the village yet. And we've been invited to the head table to watch their fair, their parade. This is fantastic. What an incredible experience. When you see these people, they're happy people. Without knowing who we were, they opened their arms, welcomed us into their celebration, the Farmer's Day. It was perfect. Our day of hunting has changed from a day of hunting to a day of celebration with the people up here in the high Andes. Now, they tell us that we've got to get to the next village because there's a bullfight. It's all part of the celebrations, and that's as important as what we just witnessed. So we're on our way. This is the Baile Chinguino dance. It's the dance of this village, the traditional dance. And they have the masks on so nobody knows who the other person is, and they can dance with anybody during the dance. Even the little boy down here dancing, following the steps of maybe his father or his grandfather. They pass these traditions. This dance gets passed on generation after generation after generation. And they're about to let the bulls out of the truck. The clowns are right here. This is their blue shields, and we got to be behind the blue shields. Yikes. I just want to make sure that I could really get behind it quickly if I have to. he just walked right over. Uh-oh. The bull went right through the fence. He came on this side. These are wild bulls that they catch up in the mountains. They're feral bulls. Whoa, look out, man. Watch out. Oh man, that's too close. The bull just got the clown and lifted him up. No shit. He's good. He's okay. He's safe. What an incredible experience. People that don't understand hunting think that hunting's the kill. But that's not what hunting's about. This is what hunting's about. Experiences, a journey, an incredible, incredible journey. The height of land. This is where we're going to be hunting the four-horned sheep. And apparently the four-horned sheep live somewhere in these open areas. There's obviously no fences and they're roaming free.
He says to go in that direction of the rocks on the tip of that mountain right there. From this mountain range to the backside, we should be able to see sheep.
Them. Okay. Let's go try. To probably 15,000 feet now. I don't see any sheep looking over the backside, so we'll have to climb higher even. Probably over that peak. Places they can be is tucked in underneath these rocks. They can be tucked right in behind these rocks right here.
Hola amigo, ¿cómo estamos? Está acá abajito.
What's he say?
He says he's seen one down there.
He did?
Subimos. Más allá.
I see a bunch down there, but that's not...
Un negro. ¿De dónde está estos blancos más allícito nomás?
Oh, I see him out there. He's way out there in the flats.
And locals don't like the four-horn.
Okay.
Because they believe it's an inferior breed, so they don't want them to interbreed with their flock.
Domestic.
Right.
What are the chances of getting close?
If you go in real slow, you can probably get within 40 yards, and then it'll see you and start walking off. But if you go in fast, he'll take off.
40 yards, and after that, then you're gonna run. That's a long shot. And this wind, if we get that close. He's bedded in the wide open. It's gonna be almost impossible to get him with a bow, but we might be able to get close enough with a rifle. Even that's gonna be tough. I think we're gonna go around all the way. Once you're on his level, maybe the topography is such that he's in behind some rocks there. There are some rocks. Maybe I can come around behind depending on what the wind's doing and slowly. And I think
one thing for sure, we gotta get within shooting distance one way or another, and then figure it out from there. His head's that way, he's sleeping. There's nobody around him, there's no other sheep. Are there any little ridges? There's nothing. So I think we go straight. He'll start at 162 yards, and every 10 yards we get closer and closer. And we'll just slowly, the three of us, slide down. And I'll try a sitting shot if I have to shoot him, right? Because I won't be able to use that tripod. Okay. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Oh, that's a stock.
That was a stock.
Holy.
What was that, 170 yards on her hands and knees?
He just started to quarter towards me. I put her just on the front, but he went down. He didn't even 5 feet. Holy smokes. Oh. Oh. Oh, he's ancient. Look how he's all boomed up. Oh, he's just spectacular. It doesn't even look real with the 4 horns.
The locals call it Kumba.
Kumba.
Yes, it means, that's Quechua, and it means sheep with 4 horns.
Okay, Quechua is a tribe and
Quechua is the Inca language.
Inca, okay.
I was told that the Vikings brought it to South America.
Oh, well, they could have, right?
Argentina.
But they've been here forever.
They've been here forever.
Yeah. You can see the toes, how old this animal was underneath of the actual hoof. This one's broken right off. I mean, that's just got to be nerve ends. He's an old animal. He wouldn't live much longer, I don't think. We're going back down the valley to that old gentleman that gave us the potatoes and the queso fresca, the fresh cheese the other day. He gave us food that was a big part of what he owned, how he lived, yet he invited us in to share. And we all feel that something like that has to be paid forward. So we're going to give him the entire 4-horn sheep. One thing, it's going to make his day, probably make his week actually.
Le hemos traído regalo un carnero.
¿Y usted
Para
no
que la
era?
carne. No, para que te quedes la carne tú. Como le regalaste a él queso y papas, en agradecimiento te ha traído un carnero de él.
Oh, hija. Entonces sí, pues como hemos dicho, ya no hay problema.
He says you're welcome and whenever you guys want, you can come back anytime.
Good. Really appreciate
Y
that.
pues podemos tomar un vinito.
He wants to offer us a little bit of wine.
Just a little bit.
Un poquito nomás.
That's good. Perfect. Toast to new friends. From
Salud, salud.
Peru, Canada, United States. And it just gets paid forward and forward and forward. When you do something nice, someone does nice back for you, and do something nice again, it's a better world. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Claro, pues.
Few places conjure up images of uninhabited wildlands and exotic creatures like Tasmania. Separated from mainland Australia by the last ice age 10,000 years ago, isolated Aboriginal people have hunted on this vast island for several millennia. That is, until Tasmania's discovery by European explorers. The animals hunted here today are introduced animals, released by settlers and early Western explorers looking to provide sustenance of a more familiar variety than the forester's kangaroo and wombat. We'll be hunting fallow deer here in Tasmania, the land that was lost to the rest of the world for 10,000 years. I never thought I'd be saying that I'm standing here in Tasmania, to go hunting. I mean, Tasmania, what's here? I always thought it was Tasmanian devils, which there are a few around apparently still, and Tasmanian tigers, which there aren't any left. But apparently, there's great deer hunting, fallow deer hunting. I can't wait. We've come just about as far around the planet as you possibly can to get on the opposite side.
never imagined that this is what a Tasmanian hunting camp looks like. I mean, it's like a tented camp in Africa. It feels like Africa, except it's gum trees instead of acacias. Huh, cool, look at this. This is a good vintage. This year,
it's a vintage.
I believe it was probably about the same year I was born.
It could well be.
Which would be back in the 1800s.
Not quite that old, but it's been around.
This is fancy. We're living like kings.
The beautiful thing about this is you're in nature, you're on your own, and it's you against the elements. Not that the elements are harsh, but
Yeah.
the success rate's up to you.
If I see one tiger snake, that makes the elements harsh.
My shoulders are big. I'll carry it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I'll be jumping into your arms.
But look, I don't know that you will see a snake. However, it is the breeding season for snakes here now. So if you see a snake, it could be aggressive.
Excellent. So that's
just
so it's kind of like our moose rut where they come walking.
Icing on the cake. Yeah, perfect.
Great.
So, but look, it is what it is. That's the bush. That's the experience.
I never would have imagined that we'd be in a spot like this, hunting in Tasmania, in a proper bush camp. Now we've got probably 15, 20 minutes to get organized, and we're going to be out hunting. Followed your move just at last light in the evening, and then the first light in the morning. You want to get out there and be in position pretty quick. But when you've traveled all the way around the world and trying to get your gear organized out of suitcases, it takes a little longer. Simon was saying that they've done some monitoring of the snake bites, and 38% of the people that get bitten by a snake in Tasmania die. So I am wearing gaiters. They're not the greatest gaiters for a snake bite, but they're going to offer more protection than less, depending on where they strike. If I happen to step on one, which I'm obviously going to try my best not to do. I couldn't get the import permit for my Nosler gun, so we had to borrow a gun. This one's got a loophole scope on it, which is perfect. 300 Win Mag caliber, and shooting Nosler bullets, so we're as good as we can be. We're hunting in Tasmania. Tasmania, I just can't get over that. We're on this stand. They call it a hide here, and apparently the deer and kangaroos all come out into this opening in front of us. Kangaroo or what? There's a young male. He just came out from the timber, so the wind is going this way. He's on the edge of the wind line. There's a mob of the forester's kangaroo at the end of this meadow. And he's probably by himself because the big male with that mob probably kicked this young male out of the herd or mob. So that's why he's on his own out here. Feral sheep coming towards us right now. They say they get wool blind because the wool grows over their eyes and they can't see. They don't know. They just kind of go by smell. That's interesting. That's a fallow deer female. Beautiful. So rich, dark chocolate. There's a few Bennets. Well,
bennets, but they're also the red-necked wallaby coming out. It's pretty neat. It's different, so totally different than anywhere else in the world. It feels like Africa. This is it. We have the whole glorious day ahead of us. The Tasmanian world is just starting to wake up. We can hear it sound like hottedaws, but it can't be hottedaws over here, so some other kind of bird just announcing that it's time for the day to begin. We've been walking a long ways. There was a heavy rain about 48 hours ago in this area. So the ground's pretty soft, and I've only seen 3 sets of deer tracks. And we've walked miles and miles already. So I don't think there's a huge population in the area we're hunting, but that doesn't mean there's still not the odd one down here. Especially, you could find an old male.
You see none around the Midlands area.
So much for our stealthy approach. Holy, that's a tiger snake. That's like deadly, deadly poisonous. That's a tiger snake. That's like deadly, deadly poisonous. He's fast. He's pretty nifty. Well, if we'd have been asleep, he'd have been crawling right into us. That's frightening. Okay.
Check your bags.
That sort of.
Check your boots. He's not a big one.
What?
He's not a big one.
That's not a big one?
Oh, God. Chuck another 2 feet on top of that, and you're on a big one.
We've been here all day. Well, since 11 this morning, 10 this morning. And we haven't seen a single thing. It's kind of weird that there's no wallabies or kangaroos. It doesn't feel good. Kidding me. We waited here for 8 hours for this time of night, this prime time. And this is our last morning for the fallow deer. This is it if it works. We're very lucky. The strangest place. We've looked everywhere in these mountains behind us. Now, out in the flats, way out in the flats, there's 9 stags in one group, 3 in another, 2 in another. One of them was a really big one. You can tell from probably 2 miles away that he's definitely a shooter. If we can get closer, but it's going to be tough. Lots of deer between us. We're working our way closer to where we last saw that big one from 2 miles out here. He's almost for sure down this river bottom or creek bottom, which makes sense. That's what our mule deer would do. But I wouldn't think that a fallow deer would do that, but that's what they're doing. They're staying in the wide open and then ducking down into these deep ravines. It's full of gorse, which is a very thick, spiny shrubbery that was introduced to Tasmania, but it's fantastic cover for any animal. It's too high for us to see into it, so we'll see. The idea will be to get somewhere closer, probably onto the end of the snob down here, and try and spot them. Right now, this is about patience and looking, and seeing if we can get lucky and see antlers. While it's still morning, we need them to stand up and move. I see them all there, yeah.
All on that flat on this side, so they're going to feed out this way.
We could easily work our way down the hill another 100 yards on a nice stag, but here's the thing, it's too young. The deer is too young. So I'd rather come halfway around the world, literally, and not shoot a deer than shoot that deer. And that's hunting. You let him go. The coast is clear right now, so we're going to try and get to that next knob. I think the big old one stayed right in that bottom. He's too smart to do this migration back to the big forest. He's staying right in there. It's going to be a matter of seeing him. He's going to have to make a mistake. That's gotta be where they went. Yeah, 100%. It's just whether they stayed out in the open or whether they went all further down to cover. Very ebony. Yeah, there's a little bit of gorse. Unbelievable. Simon found the stags, they're missing stags.
We have to get in there without being seen. We're in the wide, complete open. There's not a stick of timber, there's not a tree, there's nothing. So we're just going to have to go super, super slow to get a look at them.
There's at least 20 stags down below in the wide open. 4 white ones, but there's 1 doe on alert. They're all bedded. I'm going to try and get ahead and get into a sitting position so I can be able to shoot.
One that stood up. That's the one you want, the one that stood up.
Violet grass between me and there. Now there's a doe in front of him. Here. Now there's a doe in front of him. Here.
Reload.
Take it easy.
He's down. He's still down. Still down.
Their leader's down. So they don't know what to do. And what a perfect place to hide. Look at that. Yeah. The doe's leading them now.
You fun. So where is he?
Right down there.
Oh yeah, I can see him rolled up in there.
Yeah.
This early in the season, this front country, they've only got dry timber or the gorse to rub on, and the gorse is very
Oh,
coarse.
okay, so.
And also the dry trees, they'll rub on the dry trees, and that's what rounds all their points off, so they don't get to the sharp points.
Holy, he's beautiful. He's so pretty. And this is the cleft you're talking about.
Yep.
So when it's got a cleft, that's not good.
And what the older fallow bucks tend to have is this hump at the top of their shoulders, where their body is more developed than the smaller stags. He's a much older buck than the other bucks that were there.
Gentlemen, Tasmania is my new #1 choice of destinations for holidays, for visiting, for hanging out, for hunting. You're not going to be able to get rid of me now.
The season's in March every year.
We don't want you back. We can't have you come shooting on it.
That's why he worked so hard to find this one, because he doesn't want me back. He knows I would come back.
As you can see, we haven't got many around, so.
Incredible. Incredible.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Simon, fantastic. Look at that. Old stag, 23 stags in one mob. I mean, that's testament to your conservation program here in Tasmania. It's a model for management of the wildlife everybody around the world could learn from. Tasmania is just the start of our journey through the South Pacific. Next is Marble Island, another forgotten place where decades ago, several species of big game animals were released into the wild reaches of this remote island archipelago. The only problem is, it's cyclone season. This is Rockhampton. We've got a heavy, heavy warning for cyclone coming from the north towards us. We're gonna have to go fast, try and get out to the island today, hunt tomorrow, and get off the island the next day. Otherwise, we might be there for a while, and island out in the Great Barrier Reef is probably not the best place to be when there's a cyclone. At least not when you're tall. Maybe if you're about this high, shape like that would be better, but it's always something. It's always something, and that's the cool part. You can't anticipate, you just react and face the challenge, meet it, and in the end, the accomplishment is that much greater. Right?
So at the moment, it's sitting in the Coral Sea, and it's just sitting there. And the longer it sits there, the more intense it gets.
Oh, excellent.
So that's the problem. If it came on the land where it is, we'd be fine. But it's sitting there and we don't know which way it's going. So we're just waiting to see.
So it's sitting there getting stronger, stronger, building more energy, and then it'll decide where it wants to go.
Well, and that's it. We're hoping not to be in the road.
Now you're coming out there too with us?
Yeah.
Good. Cool. How's it going?
Yeah, very well yourself.
Yeah, good. Having fun.
Did James mention there's a cyclone just off the coast here?
Yes, we've heard about it. Excellent.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Good timing.
Yeah, good, perfect. Yeah, what else is new?
Okay, well,
yeah, we'll see. We've been warned now by everybody. Cyclone, cyclone, cyclone. So it's obviously pretty serious.
A worst case scenario would be that for about 4 days we may not be able to get back up there, and they're predicting it's going to hit as a Category 4. So it's
Category 4.
Yeah.
So that, but the good news is that's not as bad as a Category 5.
It's not as bad as Category 5. That's right.
Excellent. So we're laughing.
Last week we had a lot of weather, and we had 4 days in a row where we couldn't even get to 1,000 feet in the circuit. We had cloud as low as 400 feet, and that's another thing with this aircraft. It's because of the island. There's no navigation aids, so to get to the island we have to fly visual, which means we have to stay out of the cloud to get there. So that's where low cloud can be make it a bit tricky. I was actually just showing Andrew too the forecast rainfall for the next, well, it says 8 days, is over 400 mil.
Which is how many inches?
16. Yeah.
You mean 1.6, or you mean 16 inches?
16 inches
of rain coming towards us right now.
Yep.
And we're going to be on the island.
Well, I was kind of trying to hoping we'd get out tomorrow if we rushed it, you know. But sounding like that may not be possible.
We may not even be able to get out there tomorrow.
I think that the weather we see now, that's the best we'll get. Like it'll get worse from here on.
And we have to be back here by dark?
Got to be back by dark. Yeah. Right. So
5:30.
You've probably got about 3 hours on the island. That's best case scenario.
I don't know the island that well, so I don't know what
Blackbuck by their nature, they live in the open, so they're easy enough to find. But they've got a good eyesight too, and they're always out a fair way. So it's just getting in close enough.
We're here, so
yeah. Well,
I mean,
there you go. So we want to give it a crack then.
Yeah, I'd say we go give it a shot this afternoon and see what we can do.
Well, we get the plane, taxi it up.
Does that make sense? I think so. Yeah.
Well, you just try it. I mean, we've come a long way to sit here and be scared off the island before we even get there. So we might as well go try it.
Yeah, well, that's what we're figuring. We'd just shorten it. I didn't realise how much we'd have to shorten it.
like the pilot's waiting for us. That's pretty short. That's pretty short when we had 5 days.
Yeah.
And now he's going to wait for us, and he's going to be back by dark tonight, and it's already 1. Like really? That's significantly shortened.
This hasn't happened before. This is the first time ever.
Is that right? Eh?
Yeah. That we've had a cyclone bearing down on the island when we've got a hunt.
Yeah, coming up. Yeah. Decisions made. The trees are starting to wave around quite a bit, but we think we can get on the island. The pilot's going to wait for us. We're going to try and hunt.
And it can be done. It can be done, for sure.
We can just land and go hunting.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we're going to try. Decisions made. Throw the dice. See what happens.
Your limit's sitting on the far side.
Yep. You're not going to let me fly it?
5-7 takeoff, make a right turn, and then white.
Made it. Now we're going to try and make it back.
A little windy. This could possibly be one of the fastest or one of the longest hunts we've ever been on. I mean, nobody knows what the result of this hunt's going to be. We don't even know if we can get back, let alone if we get an animal.
So 5:30, we've got to be leaving here, Jim.
So we have almost
3 hours and 45 minutes.
We've worked well under pressure.
We're now trying to cross the one mountain that's on the island at this end to get to a flat area where apparently that's where the black buck are. The wildlife species on this island, the rooster deer, the axis, the sandbar, the fallow deer, and the black buck were released on this island back in the 80s and have adapted perfectly to this habitat. It's a big island. It's not going to be easy. We don't have a lot of time. This cyclone's on its way. The wind at the airstrip, and once we get over the top here, is horrendous. Last time this island was hit with a Category 4 cyclone, it just about tore the top of the island off. So we don't want to be here for that. Some female black buck. We don't have to go too far to find them because they're going to be in the open areas on the island, not likely in the heavy timber. They're called black buck, but really it's the males that turn black as they get older and dark. The females look like impala females. No males? Spotted a male black buck, and he's only got like...
Yeah, he's not very big. We might... It's a good chance there's a bigger one between the main mob of females and him.
And him, okay.
So if we back up, we might be able to walk through there and not let these see us.
found some more on a ridge over here, but even if we can get close, I've got to try and shoot in this wind, and the wind drift will be horrendous. Yeah, so if you want to get in a position, you got to get in a position to shoot. That's what we're doing. I just don't see him. How far is that? 242. Oh yeah, okay. See him? Oh, he's gorgeous. These blackbuck are native to Pakistan. We've hunted them before in Uncharted. Here they were introduced and have thrived on this island. I mean, in the Great Barrier Reef, this is where we are right now. He's old, eh?
Yeah.
That's the mature, that's the one that is with...
Yeah, in this sort of country, he's a good one.
Yeah.
They're rough.
Hard living in here, except they just got rain, that's why it's green. Otherwise it's burnt right off mostly. Eh? Oh, he's beautiful. He's beautiful. We did it. Now we don't have time to pay a lot of respects, unfortunately, because we've got to get all the way back over the mountain to the other.
You gotta do what you can do.
It's crazy. I don't remember scheduling in a cyclone on this Marble Island hunt. You can see the crap coming in off the ocean. We've literally got to get out of here now. It's time to go. It's time to go. Thank you. Marble Island, what a place. This is a paradise, and we didn't get a chance to spend any time here because nature's telling us we can't. That's the way it is on this trip to this place. This is nasty. Up on the hill is really crappy. And that's 30 knot winds, so 5 knot winds.
Yeah, I think the category 4 is that 200 knots. I think category 5 is 250.
Is it?
Or that might be, I don't know what it was, but it's up there anyway. It's a lot.
Scary.
All I know is, if you're going to be stuck somewhere, you'd rather be on the mainland.
taxi to Park.
Taxi to Park, Sierra Leone, Mike, thank you.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Oh, smoke. Hope we're gonna get off that island.
Well, that was easy, Steve.
Yeah, it went well.
I didn't think we were getting off. I thought when I saw that crap coming, I said, oh, we cut it too tight to the cyclone and it's here.
It was getting pretty dodgy at the end.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Well, it would have been nice to explore Marble Island more than we did, but in this particular case, nature decides how long we can stay there. That was really pushing it. I wouldn't want to leave half an hour later. Soaking wet, soaking wet. I mean, we just came from the start of what's going to be hell, and we got out. We got out. We got there. We got out. That's good. Don't want to do that again. Australia is the oldest, lowest, and flattest landmass on Earth. It's been separated from the other landmasses for the last 45 million years, according to scientists. And that means the animals that live here have been separated as well. But with the arrival of foreign settlers came foreign animals. Today, the Australian government is deciding how best to manage the population of these introduced animals. One solution is by managed hunting. I'll be traveling to the land down under to observe this in practice. That's awesome. Cyclone's on its way. We've got to go. I think we might have been pushing just a little bit. Can you imagine what this place is going to look like in 24 hours and then 48 hours? Holy smokes.
Hey, XC5 Foxtrot, Sierra Leone, Mike.
Mike, taxi to Park.
Taxi to Park, Sierra Leone, Mike, thank you.
Extraction 9 Delta 1. Okay, 359 Delta.
Soaking wet, soaking wet. I mean, we just came from the start of what's going to be hell, and we got out. We got out. We got there. We got out. That's good. Don't want to do that again. That's everybody else, evacuating, heading for the outback, someplace away from this monster that's coming at us. We can't get away from Cyclone Debbie. We've been trying to outrun it, but we're not doing real well. Today, we're actually trying to get out near the town of Wooden Bong. Apparently, there's zero tolerance for the dingo, which was an introduced animal, they think from Asia, possibly descendants of the Asian wolf that are here on the continent of Australia. And we're going out on a predation control operation with one of the guys that actually does the predation control for the sheep farmers in the area. Dingoes, wild dogs. One town not too far from here got 40 inches of rain in 48 hours since we left Marble Island. And it looks like it didn't dump all of the rain on that town. But what happened to the beautiful sunny beaches? And I was actually thinking about taking up surfing.
Surf the creek.
Yeah, you can surf. Yeah, you can surf the creek, exactly. The meteorologists say that tonight this will blow through, and tomorrow morning we'll be able to hunt. It's supposed to be sunny and beautiful tomorrow, but we'll see. In the meantime, this is part of hunting. The camaraderie, the stories, the gathering, and the patience. Tomorrow, though, go, if the weather changes. We'll see. Bright and early, the clouds are shifting hard across the sky, but above there's blue. I think it's going to clear off. The rain stopped that, so we're just getting organized. Earl's getting his. And again, what caliber is it?
243.
243, they say, is the best caliber for this job, which is predation control. And if the predation control isn't done, what you end up with is poisoning. So, which is the lesser of two evils to anybody who doesn't want the animals killed at all? They have to be. They have to be controlled. Well, we're going to do it the way it's been done since the beginning, and that's human hunters going after the predators. So how much damage do the dogs/dingoes do in Australia a year?
2015-16 financial year, they estimated through AgForce that wild dogs caused $2.9 billion worth of damage. That includes, killing animals, the cost of shooting, fencing, trapping, poisoning, and it's a huge cost to the Australian economy.
You said 2.9 billion?
Billion.
$2.9 billion in losses because of dingoes/wild dogs. And AgForce is your agricultural ministry basically saying 2.9 billion, that's for all of Australia. Wow, I had no idea. So we're walking from here. This is the first day we've had with no rain, no wind here. The cyclone is ancient history. It's a harsh thing for a dog lover, but this is their place, and I'm an observer. So they're doing it their way, the way they've done it for generations. And how many earls over the generations have been after these animals? So very, very interesting to be part of this. I mean, to learn about it. And even if we don't ever see a dingo, at least we have a lot better sense of the damage they do and sort of their position, the whole conservation of the wildlife here in Australia.
There's a dog track. Yeah.
There's a fresh dingo track. The farmer had a cow killed by dingoes, so that's why we set up. This is a pretty good chance that we could see a dingo here.
Down to the right.
Well, you got it. That's incredible. That's a dingo. Wild dog, that's exactly what...
That's what it is.
That's what you do.
Yep.
And if they don't do what you just did here, then they poison them.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the other option. Poisoning is the other option, and it's, you know, it's unfortunately there is a bycatch. You've got to be very careful of your own dogs, farm dogs with a lot of money, and it's a slow, painful death.
This wasn't a slow, painful death. It was finished.
He was done. You know, he's dead before he hit the ground.
Look at that, eh? So that's it. That's wild. It's quite heavy.
Solid, yeah. They're very fit. The average weight of a wild dog's about 25 pounds. They do, through crossbreeding, get as heavy as 45 pounds. It's a big dog for a wild dog because they're lean and fit. I've seen them, sad as it is, pulling unborn calves out of cows. Cows obviously in enough trouble as it's having a calf.
Oh, okay. Right during the birth.
During birth.
During the birth, they're pulling it out of the mother. Oh my goodness sakes! That's. I mean, you try not to personify because you realize it's animal.
It's animal kingdom.
Yeah. But when they're domestic animals, they don't really have much of a chance against wild animals. No. Especially ones that are this efficient at killing. I really appreciate sharing your time with us just to educate me. I love learning about conservation all around the world, and I had no idea. Had no idea that the problems were here with the feral animals and the predation by these wild dogs / dingoes. Didn't know about the crossing with domestic animals or domestic dogs, and I didn't realize that they still use poison. So all these things, like I say, thank you very much for letting us come and be part of it, and now I want to know, how do I get your job? That would be...
I'll swap you.
Yeah, there you go. I'll probably keep mine for now. Here comes Ron. It's his calf or cow that got killed by the dingoes. We got one of your...
One of our calf eaters.
One of your calf eaters,
yeah. One of our calf eaters. And a nice coloured one too. Yeah. Over the years, my wife and I haven't lost many. We've lost a few, just disappeared, probably by dingoes. Yeah. But the neighbour in the paddock we were in a while ago, they lose them quite often. There's a lot of rough country in this particular area.
There's a lot of rough people too, I'm noticing. This is it's not the classic Australian country. I think desert.
No, it's not. It's not classic Australian at all.
No, it's like jungle Hawaii or something.
Yeah.
It's beautiful here. But...
No, it's certainly not. You get out further out in the country, that's real Australia. When you get out where you can drive for days and not see another car.
That's what we're going for next, is to go see what it's all about over there. We now have a pretty good idea of this whole dingo situation.
Yeah.
Dingo / wild dog. But now we're heading out to Alice Springs and then out into the desert to see what's going on with the camels.
It's wonderful country. It really is wonderful country.
We're happy to help out. They say Earl is the expert. I'm just an observer. So it's pretty cool. Landing in Alice Springs. We met Glenn, our outfitter. This, to me, is Australia. I'm excited. I wanted to do this to visit Alice Springs, see the country around Alice Springs since I was 10 years old. We've made it to Mala, which is a tiny little village. It doesn't look very big, maybe 20, 30 people. And this is where our headquarters are. Here in Australia, the conservation of these wildlife species is so complicated. To learn about the dingoes, I mean, I was shocked. And now we've traveled to another part of Australia, way to the west, and in fact, the central part of Australia, to learn about another animal that was introduced in the 1830s and now is being killed by the tens of thousands by the government with helicopter gunships. We're looking for an animal that I never would have thought there's even hunting for, and that's the camel. That's what we're looking for, and what we're going to learn about in this next little segment of our journey through Australia, the outback. Aboriginal lands. Glenn basically is the person who's setting up a balance. It benefits all. The camels, the ecosystems around here, the Aboriginals. So I would call you the balancer. That's it. I'm excited. I want to see a camel. This is the area that they want managed for the camels. It's hard to say how big it is. It's a vast area, Aboriginal lands. How many camel are being killed by the government on helicopters?
Yeah, they shot something like 70,000 camels.
70,000 from helicopters, just killing them.
Yeah.
And the meat, they just leave there?
They don't use it. And what we try and do, we try and talk to the landowners. We come in, we pay the landowners to hunt on their land.
Right.
So we try and work in with the landowners, but we hunt on foot and we manage the animals on the ground.
Right.
And most of the people are, happier with that.
Pretty happy, and then they get the meat as well.
They're always keen to get some meat off, so it's good.
And then there's a balance. So you don't have to kill every single camel.
That's right. It just works in well. It's just how it should be.
Yeah.
Everyone working in together.
Perfect. We're going to look for bull camel. Salt flat that must have water after rains, but it would probably be too brackish to be able to drink, but maybe not. I'm seeing chips, like flint chips from the Aboriginals must have had a camp around here at one time, so animals must come down here for water. All these have been chipped, but they're just not finished like we'd see in North America. Oh, look, here's a grinding stone. You flatten out that whole side, it's concave. There should be a round, actual grinding rock, too, to go with that. Look at that. These could be 30,000 years old. Pounder. Oh, look at this, come here. Look at this, look. There's the grinding stone. That's the grinding stone. That is incredible. Look at all the chips here. This was absolutely a campsite right here.
Look how sharp that is. You could shave with that.
Yeah.
It's just razor sharp.
Yeah, so they've been napping for sure around here.
You could skin a kangaroo with that easy.
Yeah.
just that little tiny blade.
Yes.
And when you don't sharpen it, you just break off another chunk.
Another piece.
Yeah. We'll just go for a little look around here, sure.
Camels.
Camel did that?
Yeah, camel did this, broke this down. There's a few tracks there.
Have a little look over this ridge. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. That's crazy. Second from the last is the biggest? Looks like. They're gonna go right back over there. Yeah, we gotta keep going. Yeah. Let's go. Glenn just spotted a caravan of camels coming across the alkali flat from the far side. Gotta get by them if they come across. There may be a water hole out on that side though. So you got the faster you go, the better. Just my opinion. Better you on him. Holy smokes. I can't believe it. That was crazy. That was good. So that's it. That's exactly what you want. Take one out of the herd. No big stress for all the... I mean, they don't even know what happened. It's just thunderbolt, and one lies down and says...
They can't smell us. They can't. They know there's something here, but they're not sure.
Yeah.
They're not distracted. They're not distressed.
Thank you. Thank you for the education about... I mean, I wouldn't have thought it in a million years that out in the middle of the desert that they'd be shooting tens of thousands of camels in Australia, but they are.
Yeah. It's just such a waste.
Yeah, and leaving them.
Yeah.
Well, this one is a hunted one, so it's a totally different deal.
That's right.
Holy smokes. That's ancient. I never knew they were this big. That's ridiculous. That's for walking across sand and deserts forever.
Toes all worn down.
Yeah. They're massive animals, and they just shoot them and leave them. That's it.
Yeah, just drop them, leave them. And the people that live here, you know, they have, you know, they depend on this meat.
Yeah.
It's a long way to any butcher shops.
Yeah, I suppose.
You can't.
And it's either that or you kill your own.
You gotta kill your own.
Yeah.
And this is just, you know, just a different flavour, but it's getting utilised. That's the main thing. We're not just wasting them.
If you're just killing them, then you put zero value on them. Yeah. I get it. I understand.
Thing the Aboriginals always do is they always brush the animal off. It's a sign of respect to the animal. Yeah. They don't just start cutting it up. They admire the animal same as we do. You know?
Yeah. And that's
it looks so much
a paying of respect. So.
Yeah.
This is the reason that Glenn's setting up these hunts and needs hunters to come in and help give the camels value. Every ounce of this camel will be used. It'll be used by these people that live here, and the other camels are going to survive, and there's a good balance. It's a necessary balance, because if you don't have that balance, then you know someone in some ivory tower will say, you know, death to them all, and that's what they'll do. They'll kill every one of these camels, and there's no reason to do that, even though they're not native here. Why kill them all? They're wildlife. Any hunter knows culling is not the answer. That's not the answer. Hunting is, you know, managed hunting is, but then these animals have to have value. They've got to be worth more than nothing, which is what they're worth when they're culled and left to rot. And the start is to make them have value, you know, the value of meat. That's a start. The meat is a start, and it's a hope. It's a hope. Hope for the camels. We've been battling cyclones and horrible weather for most of this trip. It's been chasing us, and now it looks like it found us here. I had an incredible journey, and we've learned a lot about Australia, about conservation here, about the hunting here, but it's time to go. Australia's next-door neighbor, New Zealand, has its own foreign animal species. I'll be headed there next to search for an elusive animal that hunters from North America will definitely recognize, the white-tailed deer. Deer were released back in 1905. And since that time, over 100 years, these deer have multiplied to now be a viable hunting population. Marcus, my guide, is telling me there's some big ones. What the future holds, that remains to be seen. Our castle ahead of us. It's a little tin roof shack basically, but it's right up in whitetail country. They say that the whitetail are above us and they can be all around us. No one's hunted here ever.
I'm good. Jim, you must be Jim.
Yeah, that's right.
How's it going?
I'm doing good.
Nice drive up in the valley?
Yeah, it's spectacular.
It's beautiful.
So
nice part of the world.
So pretty. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I've heard that there's whitetails, but no idea that this is what the country looked like.
You know, you want your good mountain boots here.
Yeah.
It's like hunting an alpine animal. To be fair, that's one of the big draw cards for me.
Okay.
I like that terrain, you know.
I like flat.
We'll see how we go meeting in the middle there, but can it be flat like that?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Flat at a 45-degree angle. It's awesome.
Cool.
I'm so excited. Shooting a 300 Winchester short mag and a Nosler M48 rifle, and it's got a silencer on it, which reduces recoil and also there's no big bang. Let's do it. That's whitetail. They're right here in this jungle. This is amazing.
I'll try and give you a little bit of just that.
Hey, you know what? That's proof. That's proof. Now it's just hunting them. Down there, we're not going to be able to shoot one. Up here, we still have a chance. The wind has changed, but no buck yet. We're trying to figure this out. No one's hunted these deer, so you don't really know how they're going to act or react. I think that the way you hunt these is you got to go around, come in from the top. Whitetail doe. Tough to see them. We can't shoot, we can't do anything. It's time to go. Okay, we're leaving down that nasty face that we climbed up. We'll see tomorrow.
It was a good day all the way around, and no one's ever hunted it, so we're coming in cold turkey on this deal and trying to figure it out. So tonight we're eating whatever we can, and we'll make it through until we get our deer. Then we'll eat like kings. Day two, we're going down the valley to be able to glass up this face. We know there's deer here. We saw them last night. White-tailed deer in New Zealand. Who would have thought? Sheesh, this is a sheep hunt. Yeah. We've just spotted 13 different does and fawns in this space, and no bucks. We're seeing a lot of deer, which means it's a matter of time before we spot a buck. We decided that maybe we'll just go up and be waiting for him in the evening when he comes back out to feed, because you'd think he would. Doesn't mean he will, but you'd think if he goes in a spot, he's probably going to come out of that spot. He's not running, so they're patternable. So it's just like North America, except then you take those rules and you go like this to them. Because that's what these deer are living in, is a world turned on edge.
This is the site where they released the white-tailed deer in this valley.
Right here on this spot?
Right here. 9 deer let go here from New Hampshire.
That's incredible to stand right here.
Oh man, I'd like to say thanks to those guys for doing it. Like, what a big thing to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank goodness for hunters in the world. I think they stayed out quite late this morning, almost till noon. We saw the last one in the open. And that's because it was overcast and cool. But now the clouds have all burnt off. It's cooking hot. I think they'll stay in late as well. It may be that they don't come out tonight until 6:37. It'll be, I think, a last light affair if they do come out. We have to be up where they could come out. We've already climbed halfway up the mountain, but we're gonna have to go the whole way up and be in a position for that last 15 minutes of light. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they come out in the next 15 minutes right here. We'll see. back to the trail.
Here we go.
Whitetail doe. Just got her wind. We spooked her out of the bottom, but she didn't know where we were. So she actually ran a little bit towards us. Well, we're in the right place. Now we just gotta find the buck. Wind's going still up, but it's going to start shifting down, which will be bad. So, got to get over there quickly. Not exactly looking at us. All we can do is just keep climbing in the sun. If he spooks, he spooks. I don't know what else you can do. The closer I am, the better the odds are. 300 yards, that's a long way for a little deer, you know. Did he go straight down?
Oh mate, he just tipped up super hard, just dumped him and just one leg came up. Well done, buddy.
Good one, man. That's white-tailed deer in New Zealand. It's not about the inches and antlers and size and where it sits in a record book. It's about the journey.
Yeah, great way to end it, with a shot like that.
One way or another, it might take a long time and it might not be till tomorrow morning, but I will be eating New Zealand white-tailed deer backstraps.
Make sure those tenderloins are tender with a shot like that.
Holy smokes. Look at that. Wow, he's beautiful.
Beautiful deer.
He's got like a black ridge down his back too.
Oh man, that's a cool marking.
Look at their capes, eh?
Yes, when we were watching him, it was just in the sun, it was just glimmering.
Yeah, it was shining. I'm so honored that, I get to hunt in your country, in this place. It's magnificent. I think it's beautiful. Thank you, big guy.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
Again, Jim, congratulations.
Thank you.
The toughest hunt in New Zealand.
Thank you.
Free range whitetail on foot.
Right, that's us with that.
absolutely perfect.
It's going to be a bit of our breakfast, mate.
The sizzle. Is that one of the most beautiful sounds in the world? And you know what? Everybody around the world recognizes that sound.
Don't they?
Oh, no spices, no nothing, just pure wild game meat. Yep. I'm kind of cheating. I'm taking a piece before it's even on the table. Oh, it's like eating buttered, candied meat. It's incredible.
It looks like meat salad for breakfast.
Oh my goodness.
Awesome.
I sprinkled a little bit of salt, but that's it. Other than that, there's nothing. You didn't add anything.
Just marinated the beautiful scenery out the window there, mate. That's all.
Marinated with the scenery.
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna so steal that. I mean, wild game is always marinated with the scenery, marinated with nature, and what seasoning it is. We're going to be leaving now for the next part of our adventure, our journey here in New Zealand, the South Island. We're going to try and find whether it's true that there's free-ranging herds of Arapawa sheep. There's still some of the descendants of the original herds of Arapawa sheep living in the mountains in New Zealand and also on an island off the coast of New Zealand. At least one of these herds does exist, the Arapawa sheep, which is going to take us a long way from the beautiful Reese Valley, this place where God seasons the wild game with the scenery. But onward.
The definition of remote is to be far from the main centers of population. Using this criteria, the Waimakariri Gorge on the South Island of New Zealand is about as remote as it gets. To get there, I'll be flying halfway around the world, driving to where the road ends, and then jet boating up a river into uncharted territory, all to search for an animal rumored to have been introduced here 150 years ago, the feral sheep. From there, the plan is to take it one step further and travel to a forgotten place in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the Chatham Island archipelago, to Pitt Island more specifically, to look for the Arapawa sheep. Driving northward in New Zealand on the South Island from Queenstown towards Christchurch.
The scenery is incredible. Beautiful lakes along the way. The snow-covered peaks could be the Rocky Mountains. It's really a pretty part of the world. I can see why so many people come here from around the world just to experience travel in New Zealand. Of course, we're not headed for the tourist destinations. We're headed to a tiny part of New Zealand, a very remote part. The only access is by jet boat on rivers to look for an animal called a feral sheep. We're hoping to prove that they exist. I haven't seen one. Will you?
Yeah, not for a while though, so it's going to be
It's definitely Uncharted, not a place that everybody comes from North America wants to go see.
Yeah, it's going to be an adventure.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Here's one of the jet boats. That's our mode of transport.
How you doing?
Tyrone the surgeon. Nice to meet you, Jim.
Oh, Tyrone, okay.
Yeah, like Tyrone with no E.
Tyrone, okay.
Tyrone,
Got
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Tyron.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is your shop, right?
Yeah, this is me. Want to have a look around?
Yeah, I do. Are you kidding? This is like Christmas.
Come on, look.
This is Tyrone's taxidermy shop. We just stopped in to pick him up. He's going to be our guide up the Waimakariri River.
Waimakariri.
Waimakariri River. That's a place that I've never been. Sounds really exotic, and Tyrone knows how to get up the river.
It's pretty neat riding.
Yeah.
A lot of white water, and the river's really low at the moment, so we're going to be doing some negotiating.
Perfect, perfect. Just don't let me drive it. Otherwise, we'll be negotiating, all right, negotiating how much I owe you for wrecking your boat. And hopefully it's a little heavier coming out too.
Yeah.
By one sheep.
That's it.
Feral sheep. That's what we're going after. Up the Waimakariri River. Tyrone's going to be driving us in there. This is our spot. These sheep are supposed to be living in areas on the rock bluffs and whatnot that we can see from the river, but I mean, I know nothing. This is not a hunt that, as far as I know, anybody has done that isn't a resident of New Zealand, and even the residents of New Zealand, there's very few people that know about these animals. And we put together a major expedition.
Yeah, and there's a fan, you got to go down.
What's different about these two pictures here? Like the New Zealand hunting clothing style and the Canadian hunting clothing style, North America.
I've got some hunting kit. I'll come right later on.
Otherwise, it feels like we're going to the darn beach or something. Like it.
Yeah.
Well, imagine if you're big fuzzy sheep, you'll be hiding away in the shadows.
They'll be late coming out tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty late.
This is the law. What's the name of our boat?
It's called T's Toy.
T's Toy.
My nickname's T, so it's a bit of play on words.
So this is T's Toy. Awesome boat. Awesome boat. you ever see sheep along here?
Yeah.
If they hear the jet boat, they take off. What do they do?
Yeah, they will normally just stand absolutely stationary and just not move. They're quite hard to see because they're quite grey coloured.
Okay.
But they're going to be out a lot more once that heat of the day goes.
Yeah, then they'll start to pop out of the bushes. And...
Yeah, just come out on those rocky edges.
Yeah. Where these sheep are is steep, nasty rock bluff country. And if you shoot them, you got to be able to recover them. So no point in shooting if you can't get them.
Woody, keep going.
Go in, go in. Spotted a ram. You see it?
See where there's a tree with sun on it? Go above that, there's a big green tree in the shade, and he's just above that.
How the hell did you guys spot that? How far is that?
180 yards.
180 yards. Gotta get solid. Which one is the bigger? Okay. Gotta get it solid. Okay. Is that him standing there? He's going down. No, he's dead. He's dead. Are you kidding me? We did it? You guys are the greatest.
You gotta give credit to Zim. I didn't even see it, so.
You didn't even get dressed in hunting clothes yet. What kind of a hunting expedition is this? I can't believe it, right up in the rocks. How did you spot those?
Just got a glimpse of them.
It's incredible. The other one's still there, right?
Yeah.
That was so cool.
Yeah, these sheep have been up in this country in the Waimakariri for over 150 years. They were some of the first liberations.
150. So they purposely let them go just to take over and be big game animals or for food if they needed food.
That's correct. See what else we can find up the river.
The Waimakariri River.
Waimakariri. You can call it the Waimak.
The Waimak, okay. Look at that. How the hell did you see that? Incredible. We'll go further up now, set up a camp for the night. It's too late to go all the way back downriver. And we'll be eating like kings. First we have to recover our ram. And then we'll do a little eel fishing. If we're super lucky, tonight we might be having surf and turf. But first, we have to get this ram down off that steep face. This will be a fun shoot to call up. The ground just gives way underneath you.
How the heck do those sheep move around in this stuff? Holy, that's crazy. Look at that. Holy smokes. He's full curl. Found him. One tree holding him from coming right down to the water. Like I'm barely perched here. That's a 100% free-ranging and feral sheep. They've been here 150 years, at least, maybe longer, since the first settlers came through the area and let them go just for meat. Beautiful. He's never been shorn, and his wool is covered in burrs and spikes, and gee, what a place to live in. Waimakariri Gorge. Marcus, thank you. Thank you for setting up. Tyrone, unbelievable. And Zim, what the heck? I was looking right up here. I never saw a thing. We're gonna be eating like kings tonight. We can celebrate and share this place with this magnificent animal. Thank you. This is our home for the night. We'll drag all the gear back up closer to the trees and set up camp. Look at this. We have a ram, so we're gonna be eating like kings no matter what. That's a little bit spoily to also expect to get an eel, but we're gonna try. Who would have thought we're so far from the tourists? Look at it. Wild, remote, rugged, and spectacular. We're cleaning out the ram we got. We're doing it on the edge of the water because that scent will go downstream for miles. The longfin eels will smell that like a chum line for sharks. In this case, the offal that would be used to feed dogs and cats is being used to feed eels in the ecosystem. It's a balance that hunters understand, and it's been a balance that's worked since the beginning of humankind. You just put a big fish hook on it and they catch it.
Yeah. That's it.
That'll work. We're using Manuka wood with a 150-pound test line and a chunk of sheep liver on a single hook. So pretty high tech. Oh, look at that, look at that. Holy! Oh, look at that, look at that. Are you kidding me? That's an eel. Holy. No way, no way. Ha, I got him. I got him. That is unbelievable. Okay, you got him? You got him hard? Watch yourself. There, I got a freak. Look at that. Well, that's it. Look at that. We caught it, a longfin eel. Holy smokes.
That is one slimy thing. I mean, there is some sacrifices you have to make to eat like kings, and one of them is eel slime, apparently. Holy, have I been gooed by this thing? Ew. Blah. It's no different than any kind of a fillet on any fish, right?
That's correct.
Right down the backbone and
beautiful white flesh on them.
Oh, it's fantastic flesh, right?
A little fresher than we'd normally do.
So you normally hang it for a week or something, or what?
Yeah, we normally hang it overnight so it'll stiffen up. And you can do this a lot straighter.
This looks so good. That's a lot of meat on one of these.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
Sheesh, you guys are spoiled. You look at this meat you have. That Havilon works pretty good for filleting fish.
Yeah, it's great.
That's it. That's longfin eel here in New Zealand. Absolutely fresh, and it's going to taste fantastic. The offal from the sheep we used to attract the eels, and now we'll cut the back straps out, which are the sirloins. That's what we're going to be eating tonight. We'll fry it up with the eel, and we're going to have surf and turf. Oh, look at that. Unbelievable. It was worth getting slime for.
What's wrong with that? It's good.
Beautiful. Holy smoke.
You think of the surfing turf, Jim?
Pretty spoiled. Pretty spoiled.
Put an eel and a bit of ram will caught your shot today, so.
I mean, it doesn't get better. I don't care. The fanciest restaurant in the world right now today won't be serving this. Eel and mutton combination. Both of them were walking around or swimming around a few hours ago. I mean, there's just no way. It's impossible.
It's just so nice to be eating something that's truly from nature, you know. It's,
We accept responsibility for and understand that we have to kill things to do this. And we're not living in this utopia that there's nothing dies. Everything lives forever. It's not the way the world works. It never has, never will. We accept responsibility for our actions, which most people don't. We're eating a sheep, a ram that we hunted. We're eating eel that we caught because of the ram that we hunted. We're going to be sleeping tonight underneath the stars with this warm breeze. It doesn't get any better than that. No matter where you are around the world, and every hunter understands it. On to the next adventure. The weather was so perfect yesterday coming down the gorge, and now kind of a wet camp this morning. We'll have our coffee, make a breakfast real quick. We'll break down camp and load up the boats and start the journey onwards to the next destination, Pitt Island, way, way off the coast of New Zealand.
Makariri Gorge of New Zealand, it's a long journey by chartered aircraft to a forgotten island located way out in the Pacific Ocean. Here, rumor has it that it's possible to find and possible to hunt free-ranging Arapawa sheep. Nicely done. Beautiful. I'll make my graceful exit. Holy smokes, are we a long way from anything. It was goodbye to civilization. Pitt Island.
Awesome, mate. Good on you.
Yeah, we made it.
You did. You were used to flying on little planes?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I like it. It doesn't mean I like it. And this is also home to a thriving, self-propagating population of feral Arapawa sheep. They live here somewhere on this island, and they're totally free-ranging. That's why we've come all this way, just to hunt that particular animal. I'm shooting a M48, a Nosler rifle. It's suppressed, which reduces recoil and also makes a lot less noise. There's no big bang. The caliber is a 300 Winchester short mag and a Leupold Varex 2 scope, 6 to 18 power. So we're ready to go. We're going out to do a little recce, is what it's called, just to check out the area, see what the animals are doing, where they are.
Yep. Hopefully they're not hiding down the cliffs.
I can't imagine why they'd be hiding in 80-mile-an-hour winds.
You'd be surprised.
That's a limpet. It's like a live oyster. I don't know if that looks very good to eat. Huh. Look at that. I don't know if you're supposed to clean it or... Let's try the whole thing and see what happens. I don't think you're supposed to eat the whole thing. It's a little bit, I think you have to clean that green stuff out.
So the Chatham Island oyster catch is down here in front of us. There's another one of the endangered species. The estimated population for these is only about 300 birds.
In the world?
In the world.
And we're seeing 2 of them?
Got 2 of them.
Look at that.
We're very lucky. There's quite good numbers on Pitt Island.
And the white birds?
So the white ones in the background are the white-fronted terns. They're only here over the summer for breeding. Pretty soon they'll start getting away. I think they go off to South America for the winter, these ones.
Jeez.
That way, 6,000 miles.
And not a lot of stop-offs on the way, eh?
No, I don't think there's any.
These are the Pitt Island sharks.
Pit Island shags.
There's a Chatham Island shag and there's a Pit Island shag.
Okay.
So the Pit ones are obviously grey and black. The Chatham ones are very white on the front.
I guarantee there's a birder going, oh, I always wanted to see one of those. And there's half a dozen right in front of us.
Exactly.
Pit Island shags. And this island right in front of us, that's Southeast Island, where they released the original sheep in 1840 that were put there to feed shipwrecked mariners if they washed up on that island.
That's right.
And then Frederick Hunt brought sheep from that island to this island, Pit Island, to feed the whalers. And obviously we can't go there, but we can look at it.
Yes, no landings permitted. Only dock staff and scientists and boffins.
Well, you're obvious. What's a boffin? Bad people.
Yeah, people are very, very keen on endangered birds.
Yeah. I'm keen on endangered birds now.
Yeah.
Call me a boffin. Working our way around the point to get where the sheep are. We'll hopefully find them at some point today, but the other discoveries we're making are, I mean, I'd be happy if we didn't see a sheep for a month. Incredible, the natural history here, the bird life.
This is one of the many Moriori campsites around the island. So you can see there's evidence up in here, Jim.
Okay, that's fine.
So this is all ash, bird bone.
How long were they here?
Well, they believe they arrived around 700 or 800 years ago. What have you got? A bit of obsidian?
It looks like, where did they get obsidian from?
That is amazing. This is not from the Chatham Islands. This is brought from New Zealand. So there was even trade or a connection with the Moriori of the Chatham Islands and the Maori of New Zealand.
And that's what I just found.
You found a piece of obsidian. Volcanic glass.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
The Morioris were Polynesian, just like the Maoris were originally came across New Zealand, but the Moriori settled here, a peaceful society that lived on Pitt and Chatham Islands.
We'll head for that saddle, I think.
Okay.
Should give us a good view down into the basin on the other side.
I mean, they've survived 170 years here, being hunted the whole time for food.
Oh, they're very smart animals. Really smart.
Well, the dumb ones are all...
Long gone.
Yeah, they've all been lamb chopped up. But...
It's not too far.
Keep looking. At least three. I see three, eh? It's pretty, eh?
Those are only average ones, aren't they?
They're just average, yeah. Three rams, but they're not really old rams.
Now what, mushroom?
Yeah, no kidding.
Pit Island. It's a place that humbles you. We'll go out again tomorrow and see if we can find this sheep that, you know, they left him here 170 years ago for the sailors, the shipwrecked mariners. If they washed up on one of these islands, there'd be meat there for them, living meat. But we wouldn't have done very good if we were shipwrecked sailors today. So tomorrow we'll try again. That is so pretty.
So we've got Mangere Island here, which is a dock nature reserve.
Okay.
And then the flat top one at the end is Little Mangere.
Okay.
And then the following rock is Castle Rock, and then Sail Rock.
Any hunter would love it here. This is so beautiful. So. Look, I mean, how many other people are around? There's nobody. Oh, look at this place. Holy smokes. This is it. This is, I think it's paradise. Hey, what's this over here? That's an Antipodean albatross. That's incredible. Holy smokes. That's the whole big mob of them.
Yep, it's not all of them. It's a fair chain. They're still coming.
That is just beautiful. We're going to try and make a stalk a little bit closer to try and find an old enough ram, just so we can judge them. It's too hard to judge them from here. They all look big. There, I think. They're all heading down. Yeah, they're all going over that other branch. Yeah, this is mostly ewes and lamb. One ram there. We had a group come along the face, or a mob, they call it. But there's still some right down below us, but can't tell what they are yet. There's females for sure, but there's some rams. So if we go all the way back and around and come all the way back from that side down on them.
I think that's what we need to do, because we've got to keep this wind in our face.
Yeah.
Other than we can chase them like this forever. So we've got to go right behind. We should be able to get pretty close.
Yeah. Close is good. bunch. Oh, look at that one.
I haven't seen one for ages. They always look good.
Yeah, he's bigger, yeah. He's really big. What do you think? Yep, bottom one of the 4. Yeah. Yeah, he's a beauty. He's old. Yeah, he's a beauty. He's old. He's going down.
Yeah, that's good. Well done. Wow.
That's awesome. That's it. That's a shoot. A Pit Island shoot. A ram. And you see we go right around. There's so many rams, and the thing is, then you had all kinds to choose from, right?
You see, comparing one with another, and you think, you're jumping, you're going, oh,
Yeah, well,
is that a better one?
But not until you saw him when he came out, then you saw that he was
And then I started looking at the lighter coloured one,
Yeah.
and he was wider, but not as heavy.
not as heavy, yeah.
But he was still a nice animal. Let's go and see what this fella looks like, eh?
Holy smoke. Isn't that a giant?
He's a beauty.
Look at this. Oh. Hey.
Got some good weight, no damage, which is good. The tips are good. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. It'd be good to get the tape measure on them.
That's, look at the fuzz. They've obviously, they never get shorn in their entire life. Huh?
Never been shorn in their life. Look at that.
Holy smokes. Look at his Roman nose, too.
Right. The keen thing is that we want to save this breed. Pit Island sheep are part of our culture and heritage, and we're trying to create a value around them, and also just share this experience. As you're finding out yourself, it's different. So we're keen to preserve the breed by creating some value.
Well, we're about to tell millions. Seriously.
Please don't all come at once.
No, that's right. If I was you, I'd put a limit on how many people can come here.
Well, we've only got a certain number of these good boys.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what determines how many hunters can come. For me, to come all the way here from Antipode, the Antipode, which is the other side of the world, literally, to come here, to me, that's the hunt.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, no worries.
Thank you for, it's a privilege to be out here sharing your
Excellent.
island. Look where you live. Look where these sheep. Our trip to Pit Island is almost officially over. We still have to get off the island. A little drizzly, a little crappy weather right now. But the plane made it. Charlotte's back to get us. Incredible place. Now it's time for us to move on before that comes to get us. We got some flying to do, seriously.
It's rumored that the progenitors, the ancestors of all elk in North America, still exist today, somewhere in the dark recesses of the Altai Mountains and the Tian Shan Mountains of Kazakhstan. I'll be traveling there to meet with translator and philosopher Oleg Stupar. The plan is for me to travel on horseback into the mountains alone, with nothing but the local Russian-speaking guides and my cameraman Matt Zanil, with the hope of finding the grandfather of all North American elk, the wapiti. We're in the Kazakhstan city of Ursk-Kamenogorsk, which means Northern Stone Mountains. It looks fairly Soviet here, but also more cosmopolitan than what I was expecting. North of us is Russia, to the east of us is Mongolia, to the south of us is China, and we're in this little tip of Kazakhstan. We're going to be hunting an animal called the Altai wapiti, the grandfather of all the elk. This is where elk and red stag all started, right here. Driving about 4 hours so far, and it's rolling hills, lots of farmland in the lower parts of the valleys, and the upper hills are almost devoid of all trees. You can see why Genghis Khan rolled over this part of the world with his Mongol horde so easily on horseback. They're telling us we're just getting to a base camp tonight that we can drive to, and then taking horses to the spike camps. Stopping to buy some kumis, which is fermented mare's milk. I've had it in Mongolia. It's a taste sensation. What's the floating stuff? А что это такое? Жир это. That's a fat. Let's see if it's really good. Oh, fantastic. That's good. Thank you.
Спасибо. Давайте.
These are horse from curds. I'll try one? Yes. Okay. Salty, still good, and there is no any bad aftertaste. It's good. There's definitely a lot of aftertaste. It's not bad. It's like it's like dried this. That's good. You're on the HF radio, there's talking, which means we gotta be getting closer now. 12 hours, and we're here. That was the longest 5-hour drive I've ever been on. From here, it'll be horses. We start tomorrow morning on the next leg, which will get us out to our spike camp. And then from there is where we'll actually be hunting. Looks like we're getting ready to head out of here. The horses left this morning and we're going to take the vehicle to get up to them. From there it's horseback. We're in at ENDEVR. It's a Russian vehicle that over North America we'd call a quad. But there's 5 of us packed into it. Apparently we have about 10 miles to drive down this little trail, and that's where the horses are waiting for us. From there, we're actually on the horses and climbing up to the spike camp. It's been 4 days travel so far and still no hunting. But tomorrow, if we get up to spike camp, then we'll start hunting tomorrow. For the Altai wapiti, the progenitor of all of the elk in North America, the red stag, this is where it all started, right here. This is it. This is our rendezvous. We'll load the horses up with our gear and then straight up this draw, I would say. We've probably come up at least 1,000 vertical feet and no trail, just bushwhacking the whole way through. The odd spot, we'll pick up the old trail from 15 years ago, the last time anybody came up in here, but it's pretty overgrown. We're just traveling, putting miles on. It makes you think of what it must have been like opening up the West in North America. No trails, just endless miles of wilderness, beauty, fresh air, interspersed with some pretty rough going. Must have been just about exactly the same. Stag. 50 yards. That's a stag. That's what we came all this way to see. Altai wapiti. It's absolutely beautiful here. Dead quiet. And and looks like this is where we're going to be spike camping. And they say we're going to go hunting tonight. I'm really excited now because we are in Morrow Stag country after traveling more than halfway around the world to try and find these wapiti. We're in their backyard. What an awesome, wild, uncharted place. I think we're just having a quick snack break and then we'll go out hunting. I'm not sure. We can't speak their language and they can't speak ours. I speak a little bit of French, Swahili, and Spanish, but these gentlemen speak Russian and Kazakh. You speak English? I mean, we're totally relying on sign language, but that's about the extent of our ability to communicate. So we'll just go with the flow from here on in and enjoy every second of this incredible place. Camp set up. We have a nice, warm, comfortable place to come back to tonight, and we're going hunting for the first time. Sometimes it can be first night, sometimes it's last night. We have to go see. Slowly working our way to the back end of this valley, and we haven't heard a single bugle. Nothing. Zero. We have seen some tracks that were made after the snow, which is probably 3 or 4 days old, so there was at least one bull came through this valley. It'll happen. Just have to be patient and keep looking, keep trying, never give up. Done for the day. We did one tour this evening up into the back end of that drainage and just nothing. We did see that little forkhorn bull that came right up to us not too far from here, so that was a good day. But we're going to be a little hungry unless we actually get one. Time to set up, get ready for the night now. It's going to be an early start tomorrow morning. 5 a.m. It's raining out. Oh, darn it. It's one thing to not find animals in good weather, but it's a whole other thing to not find animals and be soaking wet doing it. This tent is a knockoff of our backpacking tents we have in North America, but they've skimmed out on one little detail. That's the waterproofing part of it. Sleeping bag is wet, pillow's wet, but it won't matter because we're going to be soaking wet here as soon as we get outside. No one ever said that hunting should only happen on nice, beautiful, sunny days. The rain's died off. Maybe we'll be lucky. And we're walking right from camp today. There's a morel stag on the hill. There's a morel stag on the hill, walking across the face. I'm pretty sure it's a small one, Malinky. I think it's a bull, but the light's so low it's hard to tell. I think he's maybe 3 or 4 on each side, bigger than the one we saw yesterday. until we find some cows, we're not going to find a big bull. It's these young bulls that are traveling between the herds, you know, they're satellite bulls looking for their own cow. But the big bulls will have the cows together in a group and fighting off the young ones. In the middle of the day doldrums, they say nothing moves between 10 and 4 p.m., 10 in the morning and 4 p.m. in the afternoon. But you never know, though. I mean, it's the rut. The bull could come walking by here, and if something tries to cross, we'll see it for sure. But nothing's moved all day that we've been sitting here watching. I see more cow moose here in Kazakhstan than I have cow elk. It's crazy. I didn't even realize there was moose here. This is it. It's cold. So it means it's going to be a clear morning at least. Until the sun comes up, they should stay out in the open. Almost a new moon too. It's dead quiet. They don't want us to use our headlamps because they think that the elk will see us from the mountain. We've been glassing here. It's not great light yet. They're not in the wide open. The guys now want to take the horses and cut up this valley, see if we can spot them. He's really aggressive. Look at him rattle his tail. Oh, look what I just caught. And he is not happy. I didn't study up on my snakes in this area, but I know there's some really deadly vipers up here, and it's sure aggressive enough that it could be. Oh, he's just staring right at me right now. I don't know what kind of a snake it is, but we'll let it go do its own thing. There he goes. They said there was vipers up here, and I didn't think we'd see any because it's been so cold, but just this hot sun on the rocks, and this one came up. Is that ever cool? When elk won't answer to a bugle, they're very, very difficult to hunt. And these elk are just quiet. Every once in a while we'll get a return call, but not very often. And if you don't get them to call back, then you don't know where they are. And Kazakhstan's a big country, so try and locate them. Sat here the entire time, and we have to start making our way back down. We've got a long way to go to camp. He just didn't come out for us today. I think so many people's lives would be improved if they had to sit by an open fire on a cold, still night and feel the warmth Listen to the silence. People, they're so immersed in that lifestyle of go, 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 go. They don't even realize what they're missing. You just don't take the time. But when you do, you realize just how important it is to sit still and sometimes just turn off. That's it. Morale in this area. It's so beautiful here. The country is made for elk wapiti. There should be a lot more in here, but I think what's happened, and it's classic, they stopped hunting in 2001. There's a military base just down this valley, like literally a mile and a half from us. As soon as you stop hunting, there's nobody to oversee the military, and this becomes their grocery store. Now that hunting started, it'll slowly but surely allow the marl stags to rebuild in population. It's counterintuitive. Hunting helps the wildlife. Hunting protects the wildlife. Without it, this is what happens. So we have to move. We'll get further away from the military, further down the valley, and then cut back up. Fingers crossed. We're at the home, I believe, of Junko. Just been invited inside for some chai. It's like a sweet, milky tea. How you doing there? Hello. That's okay. Look at that. Even my toes are a walking Cabela's commercial. Hello.
Yes, go, of course.
Thank you. You speak English? Yeah, good. Thank you for the chai. We're really eating like kings now. Totally different than what we've had up on the mountain. Look at this. Wild strawberry jam and eggs and macaroni. Sheesh. Very, very good. Two?
Boy and girl.
Boy and girl. Oh,
Kaiser. Kaiser.
Hi, how are you doing? Well, this is my wife. That's our son, Branlin, and his wife. Her mother, Marcia, and her father, Chet. And this, your grandmother made.
Yes.
This is a quilted Kazakh rug, but felt first from a sheep, and they pound it into these designs, dye it, and then sew it up. Incredible. Thank you so much. This is all part of hunting. People think it's just about killing animals. It's not at all. This is the cultural side of it. Every hunter is an explorer at heart, an adventurer, and the hunting is part of it. That's what brings you to these kind of places. You would never come here otherwise. And that appreciation for these cultures, the making of new friends, an incredible part of the world. And here we are. Here we are with new friends. This is what hunting's all about. This is hunting. Last day of the hunt. It's been a struggle, but we came to find the marl stag, and we have to keep that in mind that we did find the marl stag. We just didn't necessarily get one, and that's a huge success. Plus, beautiful country here in Kazakhstan. All those are positives, and you know what? We still have today. Still, there's a chance. Can't wait to actually see what today brings. Well, we're here. This will be our last kick at the can, really. There's stars up above. It's a new moon. The rain is abated, and it's the rut. There should be an old, mature bull in that area. Well, hopefully there is. Fingers crossed. Climbing into the night. Can't use headlamps because it ruins the night vision of the horses. God, it's beautiful, quiet. I can see the stars, the sound of the horses' hooves clip-clopping on the rocks, and a creek rushing down below us somewhere in the blackness. We've cleared the timber now, and we're on an open, grassy slope. The sky's starting to gray up. Dawn is just around the corner, and sunrise after that. I haven't heard any elk bugle, but we're getting closer by the step. It's cold, crisp morning, a little bit of wind. It's a hunter's day. It's 6 a.m. and they say we're going to be hiking for at least 4 hours. A cow and a calf and a bull. We've spotted a bull above the tree line, right at the tree line. He's been ripping apart one of the larger tamarack trees. Literally, he's taken all the branches off of it. I can see a couple of long tines, but we left the spotting scope, so I can't really make out what he is. It'll take some work, but we have to go around the mountain, up over the top, and get above him, and then come down on him. I think we've got a plan. I'd say it's 2 miles away uphill. We've got to go around the mountain to get close to him, so it's going to take a while. Trying to get above him right now. The wind is absolutely the worst it could be. It's right this way, and we're going to be on this side of him. Well, it has to go right for us to even to see it. What happened? I lost him as soon as I shot. Almost there. I followed the tracks all the way down. I was dead on him. Nothing. Complete miss. I don't know how. I mean, there's snow on the ground. If I hit him, I'd see blood. Oh, darn it. Our hunt's over. We tried right to the bitter end. You have to hunt here several seasons to really know what the problem is or why we didn't get one, besides by shooting. We had an amazing hunt, though. We've seen some spectacular country. This part of the world just never gets visited by Westerners. Tomorrow morning, we'll start the journey to the south of Kazakhstan to look for the Tian Shan marl, the close cousin of these Altai marls. And hopefully the Tian Shan marls are a little bit more cooperative on the hunting side. We'll start the journey tomorrow to the south of Kazakhstan.
month. We made it, all the luggage made it. We're another step closer towards the Tian Shan Mountains, the Tian Shan Wapidi's home. Hopefully on this one we find the elk a little more cooperative than they were up in the Altai Mountains in the north and east. Even though it's been 24 hours since we were in the other area, I'm really excited about this next hunt. I think this one will have success in terms of getting the animal. We just stopped in the village of Pasi, Kazakhstan. It's the last village before we hit the Tian Shan Mountains. So this is it. This is the end of civilization. Then after this, it's uncharted. So we're picking up a few vegetables and a little bit of fruit. This is fantastic. This is where you interface with people, the local culture. There's no tourists. This is where you're most exposed to what these people do and how they live is in their markets. Fantastic.
What about melons?
I like watermelon.
Хорошо.
Oh, the biggest watermelon of all.
Я тоже. Ну хорошо, не надо.
What's wrong with that one? What's huge?
Huge doesn't mean that it's sweet.
Huge doesn't mean smart either.
Exactly.
Or good looking.
That's about us.
Now in the vehicle, the roads are decidedly rougher, still paved though. Looking forward to seeing what it's like once we get up into the actual mountains, closer to where the Tian Shan Wapiti live. There's a big double fence right beside us. It's the border between China and Kazakhstan, or it's the near border. About 6.5 miles away, there's another double fence that's the border with China. It's in between is no man's land. Doesn't belong to China, doesn't belong to Kazakhstan. I'm sure they watch very, very carefully. Perfect. Made it all the way in. Took about 8 hours. Went right along the border with China most of the way. Now we're into the mountains, and this is our base camp. We're going to spend the night here, and then tomorrow we'll gear up and head up on horses to our spike camp. They say that's 2-3 hours on horseback, and from there we're hunting the Tian Shan Wapiti. It's 5 a.m. The horses are ready, and we're going to head up the mountain, fingers crossed. On top of the world. It's a beautiful country. Wow, steep. We just heard an elk bugle as well, somewhere way down the slope, but it's a little bit foggy. We have the whole day in front of us, the whole hunt in front of us. Now it's just, what are we gonna see? Back around this ridge. They have to be working their way this way into the thick timber. And that means they could come down below us and work their way around.
and several drainages. So if they are coming into this thick timber, then hopefully they'll cross here somewhere. Sit here now. The sun's pretty high in the sky now, but the elk are still bugling. We've heard at least 6 different bulls bugle now. They're all around us, but they're not coming out in the open close to us yet. One thing for absolute sure, there's a lot more elk here than there was when we were hunting way up north in the Altai area. Now we just have to put our time in. There's now 6 elk down below us within 300 yards. 3 spiked bulls, 1 calf and 2 cows. The last cow just came out at about 170 yards. We've got a pretty good chance of getting an elk if we can get one of those big bulls to come out in the open. We'll have to wait. There's still time tonight. All of our elk went back in, but there's a bull bugling like crazy right in his face. But he's not coming out, and we're running out of time. The sun is going down. We don't have a cow call or a bugle here. Nothing to talk to. Time. No way of getting this bull out of the timber quicker. No, he's starting to work his way downhill, and we don't have time to go after him. So that's the bad news. The good news is he's still alive. He'll be here tomorrow somewhere.
Almost here, right here. He said it's a low, deep voice. It looks like an old bull. So tomorrow morning, as early as it possible, we're coming right here. It's screaming and screaming.
Can't wait for tomorrow. There's not any words in our language nowadays to describe what it was like to come back in this still night with the stars, the moon rising, the fresh, crisp air, and the sounds of that bull elk bugling all around us, serenading us to sleep. We got up yesterday in time to do some hunting. We saw a lot of elk, heard a lot of elk. And, today is our first official morning. Cold, cold, cold. The water bottles froze solid during the night, but it's going to be a beautiful day. The stars are brilliant, starting to fade now. The sun's graying up the dawn, and we're full of hope for the day. Perfect morning. Look how beautiful it is. No one is in these mountains except hunters today. We left this spot last night just at dark, and we're back now at first light. We've already heard him bugle twice. Hopefully he'll come in the open. Right here. Saying I hit it good, I couldn't tell. I'm gonna go down and see. I wasn't. perfect on the hold. It was a little rushed, and the gun surprised me. It's got a good trigger pull. But it'll be what it'll be. We'll find out now. You can see the grass is all flattened out, so he's tumbling here. It's such a steep hill. If he was rolling, he should be right here. Oh, he's right here. Oh, he's right here. I was looking further. Oh. Thank you. Thank you so much. So he was tumbling the whole way. This is the one that was bugling so much yesterday. He's a beautiful 6x6 old bull. Boy, he's got scars everywhere on him from fighting.
Six.
You said six. Yeah. When that said he's a 6x6, because you could tell by the sound, and he's a 6x6. It's all, he's rubbed him right down to the ivory. It's almost impossible to comprehend that this elk is in Kazakhstan. It's an elk. A wapiti. These elk were the progenitors. They were the grandfathers and grandmothers of all the elk in the world. We got them. Tian wapiti. What a hunt here in Kazakhstan. Fantastic.